Chapter 21. Does your face hurt? You are listening at novelfull.audio. CQS bet, but also bet 3 million, Lu Ming smiled disdainfully. Betting so much, he really thought they could win. They didn't see who the opponent was. Lu Ming bet all his money on himself to win, adding up to 1.2 million. Qin Sheng agreed to the challenge. The most handsome in the universe. Let's change the game and move the battle to reality. QS. Okay. The most handsome in the universe. You decide the battlefield. Qin Sheng thought about it and entered the name of a company, Longfei Group. Longfei Group was HD Group's hostile company. It used despicable means towards the HD Group, and the HD Group was what Fu Hanchuan founded. The most handsome in the universe. Okay, let's get started and get this over with. The competition began. Qin Sheng quickly typed on the keyboard. Lines of code appeared on the computer and began to attack Longfei Group. Lu Ming also focused his attention and looked for loopholes in the system's protection. He did not dare to underestimate QS too much. Longfei Group had spent a lot of effort on the system's protection. It was not easy to invade. There were a total of 5 lines of defense. Each line of defense had a monitoring function. If one was not careful, they would be discovered. If the attack was too long, they would also be noticed. Even Qin Sheng took 2 minutes to break through the first line of defense. The further they went, the harder it was. 10 minutes later, Qin Sheng had already started to attack the 4th line of defense. Lu Ming was still stuck at the 2nd line of defense. Sweat broke out on his forehead. He took some time to look at Qin Sheng's position and then looked away. However, he was getting faster and faster. The onlookers outside were anxiously waiting for the result. They could not see the progress of the real-life attack. They could only wait for the appearance of both sides in the competition to know the result. Who do you think will win? It must be handsome. The most handsome in the universe has been ranked 8th on the list for so long. Do you think he is a vegetarian? Don't be too confident. You guys haven't learned your lesson. Have you been slapped in the face by QS? That son of a B*TCH hid behind the screen and watched you guys discuss and then slapped you in the face. I want to ask you, does your face still hurt? Anyway, it does hurt me a lot. The hackers. Their bodies froze. Their hands that was typing on the keyboard also froze. They silently deleted the words that they had typed out one by one. It was as if the most handsome in the universe had come out to fight against QS and his solemn words had made them lose their minds again. Perhaps the most handsome in the universe would lose. After all, the record that he had set was defeated by QS. This time, no one dared to say anything. They could only quietly wait for the result. On the other side, Qin Sheng was just 1 step away from breaking through the 5th line of defense. She looked at the position of the most handsome in the universe that had just escaped from the 3rd line of defense. Qin Sheng's lips curved slightly. She waited on the spot for a while. Lu Ming seemed to be getting more and more flustered. He had lost his composure. His mind was now filled with the bet of 1.2 million that he had bet. If he lost, the money that he had saved for 3 years would be gone. That was his life. He was prepared to use it to build a top-notch computer. If he lost, his plan would be ruined. Sweat covered Lu Ming's forehead and nose. He frowned, his eyes only focused on the code on the screen. On the other side, Qin Sheng pressed the enter key. All 5 lines of defense were broken through. Qin Sheng entered the internal system of the Longfei Group and leisurely walked around. When she came out, Qin Sheng looked at the position of the most handsome in the universe and raised her eyebrows. Fingertips gently clicked the mouse, deliberately touching the other side of the alarm. Chapter 22. Qin Sheng lost. You are listening at novelfull.audio. As Lu Ming was still at the 4th line of defense, he heard the alarm. F***ck. Lu Ming cursed and increased the speed of his hands. This QS was too mean. Lu Ming was in front, so he was the first to go out. Seeing the most handsome in the universe come out, the hackers all heaved a sigh of relief. It turned out that QS was not as powerful as they thought. Tick-tock. The most handsome in the universe, he is indeed handsome. Zhu. Handsome man is indeed invincible. King. Handsome, is QS still lingering on the first line of defense? Lu Ming was now lying on the chair dejectedly. He did not want to look at the computer anymore. 5 minutes later, Qin Sheng exited the Longfei Group's system. When she was retreating, she had even kindly destroyed the 5 lines of defense. It was estimated that the defense system could not be used anymore. To rebuild the defense system, it would require a large amount of money and a lot of time. The internal information of the group was crucial. It could not be stolen by outsiders. If the core information was stolen, it would be a fatal blow to the company. When Qin Sheng triggered the alarm, the technical staff of the Longfei Group discovered it. They immediately began to track Qin Sheng. Unfortunately, their computer technology was much worse than Qin Sheng's, so they couldn't find any traces of Qin Sheng at all. After destroying all the defense lines, Qin Sheng arrogantly left a sentence. "Your defense is too rubbish. I'll help you check next time." The technical staff. They didn't need it, thank you. The technical staff could only watch as an arrogant hacker logo escaped from under his eyes. Without hesitation, he reported this matter to the department head. "What? Aren't you a high-tech talent who came back from studying abroad? Even you can't stop it." The department head realized the seriousness of the matter and called the chairman overnight. The chairman flew into a rage. "Find him. Find this person immediately." He had never been provoked so arrogantly before. Who wouldn't want to please him? He thought of something and became nervous again. Did he take away the company's information? I'm not sure, but he destroyed our defense line and left a message saying that he would come back next time. Take care of it right now. I invited you here and gave you your salary. Are you taking money for nothing? The chairman of the Longfei Group blamed the technology department. The system had been hacked. It was their fault for not doing their job well. Yes. The technical department director could only agree. However, he was not convinced. Those who knew about computers understood that there were many experts in the world. How could they compare to these people? No matter how good the system was, there would always be a loophole. It was very difficult to ensure that everything was safe. It was not that they did not want to poach those hacker geniuses, but they were very arrogant and refused. After he returned, he began to maintain and rebuild the defense system overnight. However, this was not something that could be solved in a short period of time. At the same time, they were still worried about when this hacker would come. As for QS, they were destined to not be able to find her. Qin Sheng was very cautious and did not leave any traces behind. QS appeared at Black Emperor. Those who could not stand QS jumped out to mock her. When everyone congratulated the most handsome in the universe for winning, he did not refute them, so everyone thought that QS had lost. Trash. QS, I thought you were invincible. I didn't expect you to lose too. Duck. Ha ha ha, how does it feel to lose? Let you be arrogant, hacker Qin. This tells us that we should not be too arrogant. Otherwise, one day, we won't even know how we died. Qin Sheng's eyes narrowed as she watched them jump up and down. She slowly typed, "Who told you that I lost?" Chapter 23. I'm Little Blackie Online. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 23. I'm Little Blackie Online. The hackers were stunned for a moment. Wasn't it? It was the most handsome in the universe who told them. Otherwise, they wouldn't have come out to mock QS. A hacker slapped his head fiercely. It seems that the most handsome in the universe hasn't spoken since he came out. QS losing is all a guess. In real-life competitions, those who returned to Black Emperor first usually won. Those who lost would be a little late because they still had to attack the system. However, Qin Sheng was different. She triggered the alarm, so the most handsome in the universe could only leave. Hearing this, the other hackers were also suspicious. The most handsome in the universe was too quiet. It was not compatible with his flamboyant personality. Everyone ran to send private messages to Lu Ming. Lu Ming finally typed a few words on the keyboard and sent it out. I lost. The forum was silent for a few seconds before it was instantly flooded with F*King comments. Lost, lost. The most handsome in the universe, who was ranked 8th on the Black Emperor rankings, had actually lost. All the hackers in the Black Emperor rankings were gathered, and even the big shots and rookies would appear on the forum. Even in the world, the position of the number 8 hacker on the Black Emperor rankings was ranked at the top. And this QS had even defeated the number 8. Their strength was so terrifying. The hackers in the forum were completely silent. They no longer had any doubts about QS's strength. Instead, they felt that their arrogance back then was justified. The big shots had the right to be arrogant. In the world of hackers, the strong were respected. For the strong, they looked at the problem with a layer of filter. This was not because they were disgusted by QS's behavior, but because they felt that they were domineering. I'm Little Blackie, who was the first to be defeated by Qin Sheng and had his computer hacked, was finally online. He was still sweating profusely. During the period when he went offline, he had been turning on his computer. He only came in after an hour. I'm Little Blackie. Sorry, I went offline temporarily because I had something to do. He did not dare to say that he was hacked by QS during the battle. If they knew about it, it would be enough for them to laugh at him for half a year. I'm Little Blackie thought that there would be a large circle of hackers questioning him, but he found that those people came over to comfort him instead. I'm Little Blackie. What happened? This wasn't the style of their website. He asked his close friend. His close friend only sympathetically reminded him, look at QS's battle results. I'm Little Blackie hurriedly ran over to look at QS's battle results. After looking at his long string, he quieted down. So. He, a rookie, was piking with a big shot, and he still looked down on this big shot. In the end, he was tricked by the big shot, and his screen was hacked. How ignorant was he? How high was the sky, how thick was the ground? Over here, Qin Sheng posted an advertisement on Black Emperor. QS. Repair the computer system, remotely diagnose computer problems, build a protective system, and discuss the price privately. The price is definitely worthy of the service I provide. Welcome, QQ, XXXXXX. Don't disturb me if there's nothing else. Everyone from Black Emperor. So, QS caused such a huge ruckus at Black Emperor just to advertise for money. With this thought in mind, someone asked, Boss, are you really short of money? QS replied, yes, I'm very short. I'm very poor. Everyone from Black Emperor was speechless once again. How could someone with such technology be poor? Someone seemed to have won more than 6 million at Black Emperor. Qin Sheng had won the match just now and received more than double the odds. Including the capital, it was a total of 6 million. How could a person who had earned 6 million in just over an hour be poor? I don't believe you. Chapter 24. Looking for help. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After Qin Sheng finished her advertisement at Black Emperor, she went to a special forum to post an advertisement. The content was the same as in Black Emperor, except that it specifically stated that she had defeated the number 8, the most handsome in the universe. Some people who did not mind watching the show specially sent a screenshot to Lu Ming. Lu Ming. He was so angry that he was about to explode. This was giving an inch and asking for a mile. He didn't believe that no one could cure this son of A B*TCH. Lu Ming angrily called Fu Hanchuan. Brother, your cute little brother has been bullied. Help me teach him a lesson. Fu Hanchuan stood in front of the French window. His eyes narrowed slightly as he asked, what happened? Lu Ming's eyes lit up. Was he going to agree? Thus, he added on to what had just happened. Brother, you're ranked first in All Black Emperor. Once you make a move, that son of A B*TCH will definitely be beaten down by you. Fu Hanchuan turned on his computer and his gaze fell on QS, which was ranked 8th in all of Black Emperor. In Black Emperor, defeating the hackers in front would give them the ranking. Therefore, she was now ranked 8th in QS, occupying the most handsome in the universe's slot. QS. Fu Hanchuan's heartbeat suddenly accelerated. He thought of Qin Sheng. QS was the first letter of Qin Sheng's name. His slender and good-looking hand was placed on the keyboard. His mind was filled with the image of Qin Sheng sitting in front of the computer. She was typing on the keyboard with a wanton smile on her lips. After a long while, he sighed and stopped what he was doing. You solve it yourself, Fu Hanchuan said and put the phone down. Lu Ming's anxious voice came from the other end of the phone, hello, brother, no, didn't you agree to it? Fu Hanchuan's gaze lingered on the name QS for a long time before he moved his gaze away. He browsed through the posts and replies from QS. She could be described with 2 words. Crazy, arrogant. Fu Hanchuan smiled. His little girl was obedient and sensible. This QS couldn't be her. He was thinking too much. Fu Hanchuan exited the Black Emperor and picked up his phone. His gaze fell on Sheng on the phone screen. Was she asleep? Just as he was thinking, a message was sent. Sheng. Brother Fu, are you free tomorrow? Fu Hanchuan thought about the full schedule for tomorrow and could reject all of them. Without any hesitation, he tapped on the screen with his fingertip. Yes, what does Sheng want me to do? As soon as he finished typing, Fu Hanchuan frowned slightly. He deleted the last sentence and sent it yes. Qin Sheng's message was sent instantly. Brother Fu, can you use your identity to help me get a bank card? Now that all the information about Qin Sheng was in Qin Hai's hands, especially with such a large amount of money, it was impossible for Qin Hai not to know that she would not expose herself before she disowned Qin Hai. Fu Hanchuan saw Qin Sheng's information, and his eyes were full of smiles. To apply for a bank card, did Sheng trust him that much? Okay. After sending the information over, Fu Hanchuan thought for a while and typed a few words, I'll be free tomorrow. When Qin Sheng saw Fu Hanchuan's information, a warm current flowed through her heart. He had never rejected her. She did not understand why she would distance herself from him because of Qin Churu in her previous life. Fu Hanchuan's appearance alarmed the entire Black Emperor. One had to know that C, the #1 boss in the Black Emperor rankings, had appeared in the Black Emperor rankings countless times. He was even more arrogant than QS. The moment he appeared, he provoked the top 10 hackers. He tortured them so badly that they did not dare to touch their computers for nearly a month. He even F*King broke Black Emperor's system. He had always maintained his first ranking for 4 years. C's deeds had become a legend. This time, seeing him online, they thought he was going to torture someone again. The Melon Seeds bench was already set up, but in the end, he just came in and walked around. The hackers had been waiting for C to come to Black Emperor day and night. Later, they didn't want to see him anymore. They had already been fed dog food. Chapter 25. The Natural Phoenix. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The next day was Saturday, so there was no need for classes. Qin Sheng tidied up and left the house. Qin Hai was not at home, and Qin Churu stayed in the room. Only Lin Shuya was sitting in the living room, drinking tea. When she saw Qin Sheng, Lin Shuya did not give her a good look. "Where are you going?" Qin Sheng only replied with 3 words. "Something came up." Lin Shuya didn't say anything else. She was just asking out of courtesy and didn't really care about Qin Sheng. If Qin Sheng was an outstanding person, she would naturally treat her well. However, she couldn't help herself. Taking her out would only make her lose face. Especially that family. She wouldn't let them know that she had this daughter. If they found out, they would only look down on her even more. Lin Shuya had to tell them that her choice was not wrong. When she thought about how her brother had already developed the company overseas and was far more powerful than Qin Hai, Lin Shuya did not feel good. However, fortunately, a master said that her daughter was a blessed, born phoenix. Bedo Dem Rower would be able to win her face in the future. Lin Shuya did not care about her, and Qin Sheng did not have to explain to her anymore. She left the house. Outside the door, there was a car parked not far from the Qin family's villa. Fu Hanchuan did not want to attract the attention of the Qin family and cause trouble for Qin Sheng, so he did not park the car at the entrance of the Qin family's villa. At this moment, Fu Hanchuan was sitting in the back seat of the car with a computer on his lap. He had some things that he had to deal with. However, his mind was obviously not on work. He looked out of the window from time to time. The executive who was reporting the solution to Fu Hanchuan was confused. Was the president satisfied or not satisfied? This was the first time he had seen the president lose focus while working. The president was a famous workaholic. Cold sweat dripped down the executive's forehead. Fu Hanchuan suddenly nodded. "Follow up on your plan and contact Assistant Lin specifically." This was the first time that Fu Hanchuan did not ask his subordinate to change his plan. After giving his instructions, he turned off his computer and got out of the car. Qin Sheng was wearing a white dress. Her slightly curly long hair hung on her shoulders. Fu Hanchuan was stunned for a moment before the corners of his lips curled up slightly. Fu Hanchuan and Qin Sheng were 5 years apart in age. Fu Hanchuan did not like to smile and was very mature. In the eyes of others, he and Qin Sheng were many years apart. Fu Hanchuan also realized this and specially wore a white casual outfit. The two of them looked like a couple. "Brother Fu." Qin Sheng came to Fu Hanchuan and raised her head slightly. Fu Hanchuan was very tall and she needed to raise her head to see him clearly. "Brother Fu, are you here early?" Fu Hanchuan opened the car door and said elegantly, "I just arrived." "Oh." Qin Sheng got into the car and Fu Hanchuan sat next to her. "Drive," Fu Hanchuan ordered. Then, he turned to look at Qin Sheng. Sheng, do you want to continue staying in the Qin family?" Qin Sheng was slightly stunned, and a hint of bitterness flashed across her lips. In her previous life, he had asked her the same question, but she was a fool. She couldn't tell who was sincere and who was fake. She tugged at the corner of her clothes. "I'll think of a way to leave the Qin family." Fu Hanchuan frowned slightly. "Do you need my help?" Qin Sheng rejected him. "It's not difficult. I'm dispensable in the Qin family." As long as she touched Qin Hai's interests, he would give up on her as his daughter. Fu Hanchuan's heart skipped a beat. Waves of dull pain came over him. Sheng's situation was really heartbreaking. He rubbed Qin Sheng's hair. Sheng, you still have my grandfather. We'll treat you very well." "Okay." A brilliant smile bloomed on Qin Sheng's face. Chapter 26. Coincidences. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After settling their bank cards, the two of them went to the restaurant to eat. The two of them sat by the wall. Outside was a pedestrian street, and there was only a glass window between them. They could clearly see the scene inside from the outside. When Qin Churu passed by the restaurant, she caught a glimpse of Qin Sheng's figure. She was slightly stunned. Why would Qin Sheng come here? Why would a country bumpkin come to such a high-end restaurant? Then, her gaze fell on Fu Hanchuan's figure. She only saw a side profile, but it was perfect to the extreme. A tall nose bridge, sexy lips. Qin Churu's heart raced. She had never seen such a good-looking man. She almost could not control herself as she walked into the restaurant. When she entered the restaurant, she happened to see Fu Hanchuan use his slender and good-looking hands to peel the prawns and place them in Qin Sheng's bowl. Qin Sheng also shamelessly ate them. Qin Churu gripped her hands tightly, her fingertips turning white. How did Qin Sheng meet such a man? She even asked him to peel the prawns for her. Qin Churu was also used to acting. Very quickly, she suppressed her jealousy and slowly walked towards Qin Sheng. Sister. Qin Churu's pretentious voice sounded. Qin Sheng put down his chopsticks and asked expressionlessly, "What's the matter?" "Sister, I wanted to look for you to go shopping together." "I didn't expect you to leave so early," Qin Churu complained. She squeezed herself next to Qin Sheng and sat down, looking like a good sister. This dining table was for 2 people. Qin Sheng was very thin, and her chair could barely fit 2 people. However, it was very crowded. Fu Hanchuan frowned and finally gave Qin Churu a look. According to the information, Qin Sheng and Qin Churu were carried by the wrong person when they were in the hospital. Qin Churu was the child of a rural couple, but she became the daughter of the Qin family and enjoyed the love of the Qin family. Qin Sheng had been abused by that couple in the countryside. Ever since she was 3 years old, she had endless work to do. If it were not for the pressure of compulsory education and the pressure of the village officials, the Feng couple would not have sent Qin Sheng to school. They had not paid a single cent for Qin Sheng's school fees. They knew the Feng couple's character. The village officials collectively donated money to help Qin Sheng pay for her school fees. After Qin Sheng grew a little older, she went to find work on her own. Once she finished junior high school, the Feng family did not allow Qin Sheng to go to school. It was only because Qin Sheng promised to give them a fixed amount of money every month that they continued to let Qin Sheng study. After Qin Sheng was brought back, Qin Churu still stayed in the Qin family. According to the information, Qin Churu's talent was extraordinary. She had been recognized by the master of painting, Qi Wenshi, since she was young and became one of his students. In the 3rd year of high school, she was firmly ranked in the top 10 of the entire grade. She was kind and filial. When she saw the stray cats and dogs on the road, she couldn't help but feed them and send them to the veterinarian if they were injured. Fu Hanchuan sneered and looked away. She was just like Zhou Sihui. Qin Churu noticed Fu Hanchuan's gaze on her. Her face was slightly red. She picked up a glass of juice in front of Qin Sheng and asked casually, "Sheng Sheng, is this your friend?" Qin Sheng's lips curled into a mocking smile. Did Qin Churu like Fu Hanchuan this time? "What does it have to do with you whether he's my friend or not? My relationship with you doesn't seem to be that good. You really don't know your place." Qin Sheng didn't give Qin Churu any face. She disdained to maintain a superficial relationship with Qin Churu. Qin Churu's face was a little stiff, but she quickly recovered. Her eyes were very red, and her voice sounded very wronged. "Sister, I know that I've monopolized Mom and Dad for more than 10 years. You have a problem with me, but that's not something I can stop. If you're angry, I can move out. Sister, as long as you're willing to forgive me, I'm willing to do anything." Chapter 27. You leave the Qin family. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Qin Churu used her usual trick of pretending to be weak. People sympathized with the weak, so she always succeeded in using this method. Many people had been tricked by her. If Qin Sheng did not ease up, it would appear that she was aggressive. Qin Churu had a good plan in her heart. No matter what Qin Sheng did, it would be beneficial to her. On the surface, Qin Sheng was still unwilling to forgive her. She could let this man see Qin Sheng's true colors and stay away from Qin Sheng. If Qin Sheng treated her well, she could take the opportunity to approach him through Qin Sheng. Unfortunately, Qin Sheng and Fu Hanchuan did not play by the rules. Qin Sheng sneered. Just as she was about to speak, Fu Hanchuan's cold voice was heard. Since you are so considerate of Sheng Sheng's feelings, then you should leave the Qin family. Sheng Sheng hates you. Qin Churu's face was completely frozen. She could not believe it. Didn't all men like weak women? Fu Hanchuan raised his hand to look at his watch and then looked at Qin Sheng. Every time he looked at Qin Sheng, his face carried a doting look that he did not realize. Sheng Sheng, it's getting late. I'll send you back. The corners of Qin Sheng's lips curled slightly as she stood up. Qin Churu, you're always acting. Isn't it tiring to live with a mask on? Qin Churu clenched her hands tightly. Because Fu Hanchuan was there, she did not reveal a twisted and ferocious expression. Instead, she still looked weak and gentle. Sister, did you misunderstand me? I've said it before. What doesn't belong to you will never belong to you. Qin Sheng left for a while, but Qin Churu still sat on the spot. Her eyes were full of anger. What right did Qin Sheng have to mock her? As long as she could get what she wanted, she was willing to act for the rest of her life. Wasn't Qin Sheng very real? But even her biological parents hated her. In front of that perfect man, Qin Sheng actually didn't give her face. If it wasn't for Qin Sheng, why would he talk to her like that? That man obviously saw that Qin Sheng didn't like him. In order to take into account Qin Sheng's feelings, he said something embarrassing to her. It must be Qin Sheng. Qin Churu bit her lip. She had to get this man. No one had ever moved her at first sight. His clothes and watches were the most expensive brands in the world, and she was the young miss of the Qin family. If she could match up to him, Qin Sheng was nothing. Qin Churu made up her mind and began to imagine Fu Hanchuan peeling prawns for her and talking to her dotingly. After Qin Sheng returned to the Qin family, she continued to take orders. She had already taken on several big orders, asking her to set up or maintain a protective system. The price was not low. If they were satisfied, they would need to pay 400,000 yuan to set up a protective system. The maintenance system was half the price. Qin Sheng was familiar with computer operations, but it was not easy to set up or maintain a protective system. Even she would need at least 3 hours to do it. She had already made one last night, and the customer had already paid. Now, she was dealing with the second big order, which was to maintain the protective system. It only took 3 hours. Qin Sheng came downstairs to have dinner. Qin Churu gave her a provocative look. Qin Sheng looked at the expressions of Qin Hai and Lin Shia, and the corners of her lips curled up into a mocking smile. It seemed that Qin Churu was up to no good. She pulled out a chair and sat down. Qin Sheng picked up a piece of vegetables. Qin Hai put down his bowl and chopsticks. I heard that you are very intimate with a man. Qin Sheng was good-looking. The reason why Qin Hai was willing to take her back to the Qin family was that he liked her good looks. Finding a family to marry would bring a lot of benefits to the Qin family. Naturally, Qin Sheng's marriage had to be in his hands. Before this, no matter how mediocre Qin Sheng was, it was fine. The only thing that mattered was if she was innocent. He couldn't let her mess around with other men. Chapter 28. Win him over. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Qin Sheng answered expressionlessly, a friend of mine. Sister. Qin Churu wanted to say something, but she hesitated. I saw him peel shrimp for you. Ordinary friends wouldn't act so close to each other. Qin Churu hated her. She wanted Qin Sheng to be separated from that man, so she told Qin Hai, which made Qin Hai hate Qin Sheng even more. She was just an adopted daughter after all. In the end, she couldn't compare to her biological daughter who was related by blood. Qin Churu was worried that one day, Qin Hai and Lin Shuya would wake up and hate her. So, she had to brainwash them again and again. Qin Sheng ignored Qin Churu and just ate the food quietly. She didn't care about Qin Hai and Lin Shuya's attitude, and there was no need for her to explain. No matter how she explained, they wouldn't believe her. After saying that, Qin Churu quickly added, "Sister, I don't have any bad intentions. I'm just worried that sister will be deceived by him and get hurt," that she looked like she was doing Qin Sheng a favor. Lin Shuya saw that Qin Churu had been wronged and immediately said, "Rower, some people will not appreciate your kindness even if you think of them. Instead, they will hate you. You don't have to suffer yourself. You are my daughter, not a servant." Qin Hai's face also turned black. "Peel shrimp." He sneered and said seriously, "Qin Sheng, how old are you? You just came to H City and you want to find a man. You are now in your 3rd year of high school. The most important thing is to study." Seeing that Qin Sheng did not listen to him anymore, Qin Hai was so angry that his chest heaved up and down vigorously. As expected, she was not raised by his side. She did not even care about him as her father. He pointed at the door. "If you don't separate from that man, don't step into my Qin family's front door. Our Qin family doesn't have a daughter like you who wants to seduce a man at such a young age." Qin Churu lowered her head and the corners of her lips curled into a proud smile. Qin Sheng slowly put down the bowl and chopsticks. She had already eaten her fill during that period of time. "I can't wait. But Chairman Qin, please transfer my household registration out of your Qin family first and then give me a statement to sever the relationship." "You." Qin Sheng's unruly look really pissed off Qin Hai. Of course, he wouldn't let Qin Sheng leave the Qin family. He just wanted Qin Sheng to give in. He didn't expect Qin Sheng not to play by the rules. Seeing this, Qin Sheng sneered and went upstairs, leaving a family of 3 in the dining room. The atmosphere in the restaurant was so oppressive that it was terrifying. Lin Shuya lost her appetite for the food in front of her. "I'm full." After a pause, she continued, "Ever since she came back, our family hasn't had a peaceful day." She stood up and left, and Qin Churu quickly chased after her to comfort her. Qin Hai also leaned against the chair and sighed. His wife was also gentle and generous. How could she give birth to such a daughter? Although Rower's biological parents were from the countryside, who would not praise her for being gentle and smart. Qin Sheng was not like the Qin family at all. It was really hard for people to like her. On the 2nd floor, Qin Sheng sat in front of her desk and recalled the things that happened in her past life. Because she was secretly helping the Qin family handle the company's affairs, she had obtained a lot of information. Including the lives of many business elites, there were many who had been down and out. Later on, they relied on their own efforts to occupy a position in the business world. She could rope them in to work under her. Qin Sheng was a businessman, so she naturally thought of the greatest interests. Of course, after experiencing the events of her previous life, she also blindly used others for her own interests. What was the difference between her and Qin Churu? Qin Sheng wrote down a name. Hong Yuan. Chapter 29. The game between experts. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hong Yuan's wife was suffering from cancer and did not have many days left. She needed someone to accompany her at all times. Hong Yuan could not get away, so the company's matters were left to his brother, Du Kaifeng, to handle. He did not expect Du Kaifeng to be so ambitious. He had been jealous of Hong Yuan for a long time. He took this opportunity to bribe the company's higher-ups to falsify the accounts. When Hong Yuan found out, it was after his wife passed away. Unfortunately, the company had long been emptied by Du Kaifeng, and he owed the bank a large amount of debt. Even the company's research results had been swept away. 20 years later, Hong Yuan finally stood up completely and took revenge. However, during this period, Hong Yuan was repeatedly targeted by Du Kaifeng, and he fell quite a bit until he met a noble. Qin Sheng bit her pen. Now was the time when Hong Yuan had just discovered what Du Kaifeng had done. It seemed that she could go and see him tomorrow. Then, Qin Sheng wrote down the names of a few more people. These were all prepared for her to open a game company. In her previous life, she had figured out an all-intelligent game, but she didn't have the time to implement it. Qin Sheng closed the book, turned on the computer, and logged on to Black Emperor. She had her eyes on Hacker C, who could become the #1 existence in Black Emperor, which was filled with computer experts. His strength was naturally not to be underestimated. If she could recruit him into her company, it would be a great help to the company. However, Qin Sheng did not have much hope. Hackers were born with arrogance. Hacker C was also the #1 existence in the rankings, so she could not be sure that she could beat Hacker C. Qin Sheng operated the computer with familiarity. Her fair fingers flew over the keyboard, wanting to follow past records and hack into Hacker C's computer. In the past, Qin Sheng could do it without anyone noticing. She did not expect to be discovered not long after appearing on Fu Hanchuan's computer. The protective wall that Fu Hanchuan had set up was almost perfect. He could lure hackers into the protective wall, but they could not come out or enter. At the same time, the news of the intruder would be sent to his phone immediately. Fu Hanchuan saw the message and narrowed his eyes. He turned on his computer and a warning sign for the intruder popped up. QS. Fu Hanchuan leaned against his chair. Qin Sheng's figure appeared in his mind instantly, and his eyes softened unconsciously. Even the words he typed had a hint of gentleness. QS, what can I do for you? Qin Sheng's hand paused. This was the first time in her 2 lifetimes that someone had discovered her intrusion. C was indeed worthy of his reputation. Immediately after, the corners of her lips curled up with a hint of recklessness. I want to start a company. Are you interested in joining? Fu Hanchuan was a little curious about QS. He couldn't help but be curious because of his name and his free and unrestrained manner. He slowly typed, not interested. Okay, sorry to bother you. Qin Sheng was operating the computer and was about to leave when she realized that she was trapped. Fu Hanchuan's message jumped out of the computer again. You can't get out. Qin Sheng narrowed her eyes slightly and her hands moved faster. Lines of code jumped on the screen. Fu Hanchuan brought a cup of tea and leaned lazily on the chair, watching how QS escaped from his protective wall. Qin Sheng had been sitting in front of the computer the whole time. Her clear eyes had been staring at the computer, and she was also a little interested in C. It was not much, but there were very few things that attracted Qin Sheng's interest. This was the first time she had met someone who could trap her. This was a game between experts. The code on the computer was deleted and deleted again and again. She only stopped after half an hour. There was no progress at all. Qin Sheng's brain spun rapidly, for a long time. Her eyes revealed a trace of a smile. Chapter 30. Hong Yuan, you are listening at novelfull.audio. Her fair and slender hands once again placed on the keyboard and began to type. Lines of code flashed across Qin Sheng's eyes. The protective wall set up by Fu Hanchuan could almost not trap QS anymore. Fu Hanchuan sat up straight and began to move his hands as well. Qin Sheng tried to break free from the protective wall while Fu Hanchuan was maintaining the protective wall. After an hour, Qin Sheng finally came out of the protective wall. You're not bad, but you can't trap me, Qin Sheng said arrogantly and disappeared from Fu Hanchuan's computer screen. Fu Hanchuan smiled and sipped the tea in his hand. A good night's sleep. At noon the next day, Qin Sheng came to the entrance of Feiyuan Technology Company. Hong Yuan was standing in front of the company with a dejected face and clenched his fists. The company had been sealed. As it was a private company, the shares of the company were all under Hong Yuan's name. Therefore, he had to repay the debt that his company owed. After the company was auctioned off, he still needed to pay back more than 1,000,000 yuan. He had gone through all the so-called friends and partners in the past. Because of Du Kaiyuan, he probably lost the value of cooperation. No one was willing to lend him money. His wife's death and the collapse of the company had dealt a double blow. Hong Yuan, who was only 35 years old, had his back bent quite a bit. Many white hairs appeared in his thick black hair. Du Kaifeng appeared behind him and sneered. Hong Yuan, Hong Yuan, I never thought that you would have such a day. Du Kaifeng had been jealous of him for a long time. In the same class, Hong Yuan's grades were always the best. He was second, and the teacher's praise was always first. After work, both of them were graduates of Imperial Capital University. Hong Yuan started a gaming company and was doing well. As for him, he failed again and again in starting his own business. He even had to save for food. He did not expect that one day, Hong Yuan would also be down and out. He turned the tables and took 5 million yuan from Feiyuan Technology. He even gave the results of the 2 newly developed games to Longyu Technology and became a department manager. Longyu Technology was far more powerful than Feiyuan Technology. The 3 best-selling games on the market were all made by Longyu Technology. Hearing Du Kaifeng's voice, Hong Yuan turned around. His eyes were scarlet, as if he was about to eat Du Kaifeng. Du Kaifeng, are you worthy of my trust? It was Du Kaifeng's acting skills that were good. He was also Hong Yuan's brother for 20 years. That was why he was relieved to hand over the company to him. Du Kaifeng smiled disdainfully. In the business world, business is business. There are no personal relationships. You trusted me too much. Did I force you? Blame me. Hong Yuan suddenly grabbed Du Kaifeng's collar. Du Kaifeng, you despicable man. Du Kaifeng was not afraid at all. The corner of his lips was still smiling disdainfully. If you hurt me, you'll have to compensate a large sum of money. Hong Yuan, do you still have money on you now? Hong Yuan suddenly lost his strength. The hand that was holding on to Du Kaifeng's collar slowly loosened. He still had a son. He could not ignore him. He was fine if something happened to him, but his son had just lost his mother. He could not lose his father again. Hong Yuan smiled bitterly. His gaze turned sharp again towards Du Kaifeng. I'll take revenge one day. Hearing that, Du Kaifeng laughed mockingly. Hong Yuan, Hong Yuan, as long as I'm here, you will never have the chance to turn things around. Hong Yuan clenched his fists tightly. Du Kaifeng took a step forward and lowered his voice. Your 2 games are really good.